Part 85 of Write My Commenters as if they were in Glassheart. Hilda, this one is for you, and I hope you enjoy it. When the older generation speaks, we should listen. No one truly appreciates what we have until it's gone. If we don't learn from those who came before us, we would always start at square one. And you are determined that never happens to your children. Anything you learn, the good and the bad, all make it into your records. Wanting those that came after you learn from both your successes as well as your failures. It all started with a shawl. Your grandmother had handmade the article while you were young. Sadly, she passed away, leaving you the shawl. You treasured the piece, and when your kids came into this world, you wanted to create something for them. Neither of your parents knew how to crochet. The skill wasn't that important to them. You still wanted to learn, and they had kept all of her tools. You must have spent months trying to duplicate the pattern, trying to figure out every knot and technique, asking people for advice, and the entire time you recorded your progress. By the time you had a product you could be proud of, your hands were blistered and ached. It didn't stop you though. There were more patterns to try and to experiment with. Each trial and error you wrote it down. Soon it became part of your daily life. From recipes to crafting, you wrote it all down. Once your kids were old enough, you made sure to involve them in the process, wanting them to have a head start that you wish you had. The sentiment is shared by your neighbors, for much of your history and culture had been lost to the passage of time. With each generation has to start over, there's no way to get ahead. You want to expand, make sure the rest of humankind can benefit. The Kothor and Electi have long memories, and it's about time your kind gained their own. Part 86 of Write My Commenters as if they were in Glassheart. Oob, this story is for you, and I hope you enjoy it. Who doesn't crave a little adventure? You have dedicated your life to the study of the Sprigglyphs. The mind is a powerful tool, and the magic of the dreamer unlocks its true potential. From translation to telekinesis, Sprigglyphs are the most versatile of the Trinity's magic. Your latest project involves the Sprigglyph. Over the years, dreamwalking has grown in popularity, with more humans branding their skin with the glyph than any other. As a Kothor, there's no need for self-branding. The veins wouldn't accept the crimson dye anyway. Able to pull the power from an object, you create a special mask for dreamwalking. Mirage is everything you hoped for and more, a realm of infinite possibilities. The first night was spent exploring the Dream City built by Manasa. You saw shows, delved into people's dreams, and even witnessed a nightmare. It was amazing fun, but it left you a bit groggy in the next morning. While researching, it becomes apparent that certain people can affect the dream realm directly, shaping it to suit their needs. It's not clear if there's a trained skill or if someone is born with this ability, and further study is required. As amazing as Mirage is, there's a wonder of what's past the city. Other people have tried, but the ones that do keep their secrets close. If you can't figure out how to do it in the dream realm, well, you'll find the answer in the waking world. Mixing glyphs is a dangerous practice, and a successful merger has never been done before. What is a tried and true practice is modifying the glyphs themselves. Over the years, the glyphs have changed to make them more efficient, but changing the shape can also alter the effects, if only slightly. After much experimenting, you believe you have a working glyph to allow one to dreamwalk and give you enough control to tunnel out of the dream city. What wonders await you? What adventures will you find? You can't wait to fall asleep. Part 87 of Write My Commenters as if they were in Glassheart. Brenna, since you asked so nicely, this one's for you. All these ideas fighting over headspace. Less than a generation ago, your kind sung the first glyph into existence. The power of the Trinity finally could be put into the hands of the common Kothor. Each of the Trinity gifted Dorim with 5 glyphs, 15 songs for the Kothor to study and perfect. As a composer, you have been given permission to work on every song. Born with the ability to keep track of multiple patterns at once, you tend to notice parts of the glyphs that no one else has, or at least not recorded. It happens when working on any particular group of glyphs. The melodies start to work together in your head, like pieces of a much bigger puzzle. It's incomplete, a masterpiece that is missing notes. Sometimes you find yourself humming an unfamiliar melody that disappears the moment you think about it. Are there undiscovered spells? You wouldn't put it past the electee, but why hasn't the Gothor recorded anything yet? You write your findings down, but keep them a secret until you can definitely say that there are more songs. You can't get the melodies out of your head, even when off work. They play over and over on a loop, trying to fit together. The music stays with you even when you're going to sleep. Songs playing in your dreams. Lately you wake up feeling as if you're being watched. That sense that eyes are on you carries throughout the day. Have the Braga always paid attention to you, or are you just taking notice of them? You try to stay positive, but you just don't have the energy. You haven't slept well in days. Each time you fell asleep, you see eyes on you, deep blue pools that you fear you will drown inside of. Your memories reflected in that powerful gaze. Your life laid bare. Its focus settles on your research. A sudden jolt wakes you from your sleep. The figure standing over you is tall and carries a spear. The glowing purple glyphs etched into their skin marks them as a Braga. The Trinity has come for you. Part 88 of Write My Commenters as if they were characters in my upcoming story, Glassheart. Heather, thank you for your comment. This story's for you, and I hope you enjoy it. Some days the world is too big. It's been over a decade since leaving the Cohedron for the hills. The city life wasn't for you. You had moved in with a human kith helping to raise Kanans and working as a glyph singer when folks could scrape together enough crimson. You love your life, but there is constant reminders of how different the world is from where you grew up. For one, humans are too big, at least twice the size they should be. They also have a habit of putting the food as high as physically possible. This was a major issue for you when you first moved in, so you had to build your own pantry. It's also hard to get anything to the hills. Your only trader is Dolrim, the electee have seen to that. It is the hills that grow the food, but it's the city that sets the prices. Growers that don't play the electee's games are blacklisted from trade, and some growers had, at one point or another, tried to work together to negotiate with Dolrim. It never ended well for those families. Your focus is more on the technical side of the process. Dolrim may set the prices, but your household affects the yield. Like a true Gothor, you note everything down. What techniques work, which is the most efficient for which crop. You even have your own plot of land to raise Kanans. Instead of food, you have a special plan for these birds. One of your kiths work as a carrier, and they're always looking for hardy Kanans to traverse the desert. If you can get into that market, your dependency on Dolrim vanishes. For the moment, your Kanans need to stay a secret. Carriers aren't the only ones that see value in the birds. If your word got out, you would become a prime target for the raiders. Until you're ready to defend the hill, you quietly build your defenses. You will protect your family and what you have built.